Class 10th subject Geography Social Science. Topic is manufacturing industries. Manufacturing. It means producing goods in large quantities after processing from raw material to more valuable products. People employed in the secondary activities manufacture the primary materials into finished goods. In this chapter, we are mainly concerned with manufacturing industries which fall in the secondary sector. Secondary sector. The secondary sector of the economy manufactures finished goods. Construction, processing and manufacturing. Children, the economic strength of a country is measured by the development of manufacturing industries. The workers employed in steel factories, car, breweries, textile industries, bakeries, etc. fall into this category. Importance of manufacturing. Manufacturing sector is considered the backbone of development. Manufacturing industries not only help in modernizing agriculture, which forms the backbone of our economy, they also reduce the heavy dependence of people on agriculture income by providing them jobs in secondary and tertiary sectors. Industrial development is a precondition for eradication of unemployment and poverty from our country. Children, this was the main philosophy behind public sector industries and joint sector ventures in India. It was also aimed at bringing down regional disparities by establishing industries in tribal and backward areas. Next point is export of manufacturing goods. It expands trade and commerce and brings in much needed foreign exchange. Countries that transform their raw materials into a wide variety of finished goods of higher value are prosperous. India's poverty lies in increasing and diversifying its manufacturing industries as quickly as possible. Children, in the given figure, you can see the image of new modern agriculture techniques. In the present day world of globalization, our industry needs to be more efficient and competitive. Self-sufficiency alone is not enough. Our manufactured goods must be at par in quality with those in the international market. Only then we will be able to compete in the international market. Contribution of industry to national economy. Over the last 2 decades, the share of manufacturing sector has stagnant at 17% of GDP out of a total of 27% for the industry, which includes 10% for mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. With appropriate policy intervention by the government and renewed efforts by the industry to improve productivity, economics predict that manufacturing can achieve its target over the next decade. Industrial location. Children, industrial locations are influenced by availability of raw materials, labor, capital, power and markets, etc. Cities provide markets and also provide services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants and financial advice, etc. to the industry. Many industries tend to come together to make use of the advantages offered by the urban centers known as agglomeration economics. Gradually, a large industrial agglomeration takes place. Children, it is rarely possible to find all these factors available at one place. Consequently, manufacturing activity tends to locate at the most appropriate place where all the factors of industrial location are either available or can be arranged at lower cost. After an industrial activity starts, urbanization follows. Sometimes industries are located in or near the cities. Industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand. Ideal location of an industry. Cost of obtaining raw materials at site. Cost of production at site. Cost of distribution of production. Decision to locate factory at site. The next comes classification of industries. As you can see in the given figure, industries are based on the basis of sources of raw material, and then comes on the basis of capital investment, on the basis of ownership, and on the basis of bulk and weight of raw material and finished goods. Let's study about their classification on the basis of source of raw material. Agro-based: cotton, woolen, jute, silk, textile, rubber and sugar, tea, coffee, edible oil. And under mineral based industries, that comes under on the basis of raw material, are iron and steel, cement, aluminium, machine tools, petrochemicals. On the basis of capital investment, large scale industries and small scale industries. A small scale industry is defined with reference to the maximum investment allowed on the assets of a unit. This limit has changed over a period of time. At present, the maximum investment allowed is rupees 1 crore. On the basis of ownerships comes private sector industries, joint sector industries. Public sector: owned and operated by government agencies, that is BHEL or SAIL, etc. Private sector industries owned and operated by individuals or a group of individuals, that is TISCO, Bajaj Auto Limited, Dabur Industries. And joint sector industries, which are jointly run by the state and individuals or a group of individuals. Oil India Limited, that is OIL, is jointly owned by public and private sector. On the basis of bulk and weight of raw material and finished goods. Heavy industries such as iron and steel, and light industries that are use light raw materials and produce light goods such as electrical goods industries. Agro-based industries. Large-scale agro industries are wheat, rice, sugarcane, spices, tea, cotton. Are based on agriculture raw materials. Next comes textile industry. The textile industry occupies unique position in the Indian economy because it contributes significantly to industrial production. It is the only industry in the country which is self-reliant and complete in the value chain, that is from raw material to the highest value added products. Children, 14% employment generation, that is 35 million person directly, the second largest after agriculture, and foreign exchange earning about 24.6%. It contributes 4% towards GDP. Cotton textiles. In ancient India, cotton textiles were produced with hand spinning and handloom weaving techniques. You can see the image of handloom weaving techniques and hand spinning. After the 18th century, power looms came into use. Our traditional industries suffered a setback during the colonial period because they cannot compete with the mill-made cloth from England. In the given figure is a flow chart of value addition in the textile industry. Fiber production, which is depend on raw fiber, and then comes spinning, and the spinning it depends on yarn, and then comes weaving, knitting, it depends on fabric, and dyeing and finishing, it depends on garments, and then comes garment manufacturing. Next is India, production of fabrics in India, and there is a sector year 2009 and 10 and the year 2010-11 provisional, and under sector comes mill sector, and under year 2009 and 10 comes 3.3, and under year 2010-11 provisional comes 3.5. Power looms in history under year 2009 and 10 is 84.1 and provisional is 84.1. Handloom is under year 2009 and 10 is 11.3 and provisional is 11.1. And under sector others are 1.3 under the year 2009 and 10 and provisional is 1.3. And the total is 100% under year 2009 and 10 and provisional year 2010 and 11 is 100%. In the given figure is the image of India textile industries, and you can see the mark of cotton textile industry, woolen textile industries, silk textile industries and synthetic textile industries in the given map. Why is it important for our country to keep the mill sector loomage lower than power loom and handloom? Children, loomage refers to the yarn consumed by a particular mode of production in the cotton and textile sector. Mill loomage would refer to yarn consumed by mills, while power and hand loomage would refer to the total yarn consumed by these modes of production respectively. India exports yarn to Japan. Other importers of cotton goods from the India are USA, UK, Russia, France, East European countries, Nepal, Singapore, Sri Lanka and African countries. India has the second largest installed capacity of spindles in the world. Since the mid-80s, the spinning sector has received a lot of attention. India has a large share in the world trade of cotton yarn, accounting for 1/4 of the total trade. However, our trade in garments is only 4% of the world's total. Our spinning mills are competitive at the global level and capable of using all the fibers we produced. The weaving, knitting and processing units cannot use much of the high quality yarn that is produced in the country. There are some large and modern factories in these segments, but most of the production is in fragmented small units which cater to the local market. This mismatch is a major drawback of the industry. As a result, many of our spinners export cotton yarn while apparel garment manufacturers have to import fabrics. Jute textiles. India is the largest producer of raw jute and jute goods and second place as an exporter after Bangladesh. Children, there were about 80 jute mills in India in 2010-11. Most of these are located in West Bengal, mainly along the banks of Hooghly River in a narrow belt 298 km long and 3 km wide. The first jute mill was set up near Kolkata in 1855 at Rishra. After partition in 1947, the jute mills remained in India, but 3/4 of the jute producing area went to Bangladesh. Next is sugar industry. India stands second as a world producer of sugar but occupies the first place in production of gur and khansari. The raw material used in this industry is bulky and in haulage its sucrose content reduces. Where should mills be ideally located? In 2010-11 there were over 662 sugar mills in the country spread over Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat along with Punjab, Haryana and Madhya Pradesh. Minerals based industries. Industries that use minerals and metals as raw materials are called mineral based industries. Iron and steel industries. This is heavy industry which is the base of all industries as it provides all types of machinery to run other industries. Steel is needed to manufacture a variety of engineering goods, construction material, defense, medical, telephonic, scientific equipments and variety of consumer goods. Production and consumption of steel is considered as the index of the country's development. In 2016 year with 95.6 million tons of crude steel production, India ranked third among the world crude steel producers. Process of manufacture of steel. Transport of raw material to plant. Iron ore is melted. Limestone is fluxing material which is added. Slag is removed. Coke is burnt to heat the ore. Then is molten material poured into molds called pigs. And then comes pig iron is further purified by melting and oxidizing. The impurities manganese, nickel, chromium are added, and then comes rolling, pressing, casting and fogging. And you can see in the given figure the image of India iron and steel plants. Total production of finished steel in India, and the columns are year and production in metric tons per annum. In the year 2010-11 is 68.62, and the year 2011-12 is 75.70, and the year 2012-13 is 81.68, and the year 2013-14 is 87.67, and the year 2014-15 is 92.16, and the year 2015-16 is 91, and year 2016-17 is 101.3. In the given figure, you can see the graph of crude steel production in India and China. And India crude steel production in the year 2012 was 77.3 and China was 731. And the year 2013, India was 81.3 and China was 822, and the year 2014 was 86.5 and China was 822.7, and in the year 2015 was India 89 and China was 803.8, and in the year 2016 India was 95.6 and the China was 808.4. Aluminium smelting. It is the second most important metallurgical industry in India. It is light, resistant to corrosion, a good conductor of heat, malleable and becomes strong when it is mixed with other metals. It is used to manufacture aircraft, utensils and wires. It has gained popularity as a substitute of steel, copper, zinc and lead in a number of industries. In the given figures, you can see the image of aluminium smelting and process of manufacturing in aluminium industry. Next comes chemical industries. It is the fast growing industry in India. It contributes approximately 13% of the GDP. It is the third largest in Asia and occupies the 12th place in the world in terms of its size. It comprises both large and small scale manufacturing units. Rapid growth has been recorded in both inorganic and organic sectors. Children, the chemical industry is its own largest consumer. Basic chemicals undergo processing to further produce other chemicals that are used for industrial application, agriculture or directly for consumer markets. Fertilizer industry. The fertilizers is centered around the production of nitrogenous fertilizers, phosphatic fertilizers and ammonium phosphate, that is DAP, and complex fertilizers which have a combination of nitrogen, phosphate and potash. India is the third largest producer of nitrogenous fertilizers. There are 57 fertilizer units manufacturing nitrogenous and complex nitrogenous fertilizers. In the given figure, you can see the fertilizers, and the major players are the public sector companies in India fertilizers market are listed below. Cement industry. Cement is essential for construction activities such as building houses, factories, bridges, roads, airports, dams and for other commercial establishments. This industry requires bulky and heavy raw materials like limestone, silica, and gypsum. Coal and electric power are needed apart from rail transportation. Improvement in the quality has found the produce a readily market in East Asia, Middle Asia, Africa and South Asia apart from a large demand within the country. This industry is doing well in terms of production as well as export. Efforts are being made to generate adequate domestic demand and supply in order to sustain this industry. Automobile industry. Automobiles provide vehicles for quick transport of goods, services and passengers. This industry had developed rapidly in last 20 years. Foreign direct investment brought in new technology and the industry with global developments. Information technology and electronics industry. The electronics industry covers a wide range of products from transistor sets to television, telephone, cellular telecom, pages, telephone exchange radars, computers and many other equipments required by the telecommunication industry. Children major impact of this industry has been on employment generation. It is encouraging to know that 30% of the people employed in this sector are women. It is fast growing business processes outscoring BPO sector. The continuing growth in the hardware and software is the key to the success of IT industry in India. In the given figure you can see the image of information technology industry and electronic industry. In the given figure is the map of India which shows some software technology parks. Next comes industrial pollution and environmental degradation. Air pollution. It is caused by the presence of high proportion of undesirable gases such as sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide. Airborne particulate materials contain both solid and liquid particles like dust, sprays, mist and smoke. And the next is water pollution. It is caused by organic and inorganic industrial wastes and effluents discharged into rivers. Children, the main culprits in this regard are paper, pulp, chemical, textile and dyeing, petroleum refineries, tanneries and electroplating industries that let out dyes, detergents, acids, salts and heavy metals like lead and mercury, pesticides, fertilizers, synthetic chemicals with carbon, plastics and rubber, etc. into the water bodies. Industrial noise. It is the sound with a high intensity sound caused by industry machines. Sources of such noise pollution is caused by machines in various factories, industries and mills. And the next is causes of thermal pollution. Industry uses water. Water is heated in industrial process then returned to river or lake. River or lake environment is now warmer. Dams built on rivers, water behind dams builds up, gets deeper water is colder. Children, wastes from nuclear power plants, nuclear and weapon production facilities cause cancers, birth defects and miscarriages. Soil and water pollution are closely related. Dumping of wastes, especially glass, harmful chemicals, industrial effluents, packaging, salts and garbage renders the soil useless. Control of environmental degradation. Every liter of wastewater discharged by our industry pollutes 8 times the quantity of fresh water. So children, how can the industrial pollution of fresh water be reduced? Here are some suggestions. Minimizing use water for processing by reusing and recycling it into two or more successive stages, harvesting of rainwater to meet water requirements, treating hot water and effluents before releasing them in rivers and ponds. Treatment of industrial effluents can be done in three phases. Primary treatments by mechanical means. This involves screening, grinding, flocculation and sedimentation. Secondary treatment by biological process. And the third, tertiary treatment by biological, chemical and physical processes. This involves recycling of wastewater. NTPC shows the way. Children, NTPC, formerly known as National Thermal Power Corporation Limited, is an Indian public sector undertaking engaged in the business of generation of electricity and allied activities. It is a company incorporated under the Companies Act 1956 and is promoted by the Government of India. The corporation has a proactive approach for preserving the natural environment and resources like water, oil and gas and fuels in places where it is setting up power plants. This has been possible through optimum utilization of equipment, adopting latest techniques and upgrading existing equipments, and minimizing waste generation by maximizing ash utilization, providing green belts for nurturing ecological balance and addressing the question of special purpose vehicles for afforestation, reducing environmental pollution through ash pond management, ash water recycling system and liquid waste management. Ecological monitoring, reviews and online database management for all its power stations.